want to let us know that Jesus was not a legend, that he's based on multiple accounts and other evidence, and he was crucified and resurrected. Is that about right?
Yes. And we can probably say that if he was crucified, obviously he existed. So to not make this, a long thing, we can actually do that. I'm just a little bit sick. I'm so sorry about that.
I'm sorry.
Yes. Thank you. There's so much evidence, and 6,000 plus scholars agree, that Jesus existed and he was crucified, he was baptized by John the Baptist, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, but they don't agree that he resurrected, and they don't agree that there were miracles.
Okay.
And even if he did exist, that doesn't necessarily lend any credibility.
Right. I mean, so are you just calling to say you believe Jesus existed? Is that all we're saying?
And was crucified. Those two things. He existed and was crucified with 100%. With high probability, I can say.
I will give you that it is the historical consensus that Jesus existed, and I do believe that most historians believe that if we take the bulk of what leads them to believe this, that they do accept a crucifixion. That's my understanding, and I might get flooded at the blog with people saying, no, it's not the historical consensus. And I do argue from historical consensus because I don't think that, the job of this show is to, challenge a consensus of a scholarly area of expertise.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm okay with what you're saying, I guess, and I just wanted to let people know why, and I might not be like the biggest, Bible scholar, but what you're saying is what I understand as well.
Yeah, and again, something I always criticize, Christians or anybody is, I do not like to argue from consensus because we have the evidence. So I don't need to quote, 1,000 physicists to say that the Earth is not flat, because I can show that the Earth is not flat without quoting anybody. So it is the same thing here. I can actually show that Jesus existed and he actually died by crucifixion without quoting, ignoring the 100% consensus that we have.
Well, okay, wait a minute. Okay, let me just back up a little bit. Now, I'll grant you the consensus. I'm not going to grant you 100% consensus. No. That's not correct.
Well,
okay, so we need to
let me paraphrase that.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. Let me paraphrase that.
Okay.
100% of teaching scholars is the number. 100% of teaching scholars with PhD.
I would also caution against making an assertion of 100% of even teaching.
Yeah,
scholars.
I mean, honestly, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. You're quoting stats. I don't know. It's like, okay, so let's just say we agree that there's a historical consensus. Jesus, according to most historians, they accept that he lived. They accept that he was, killed, crucified in some way. Okay, let's move on.
Okay. Let me just back up a little bit. The consensus.
So much for moving on. I'm trying to give you the point so we can proceed.
No, it's because what I'm saying with the statistics is this. One of my professors, ex-professors, his name is Bart Ehrman. He actually wrote a book on the topic.
Yeah, I've read Bart Ehrman. I've read Ehrman. I like Ehrman's stuff. I'm cool with Ehrman.
I bet you do. Yeah, I bet you do. Yeah, and he has the number right there, 6,000 plus, that accept a lot of the things that he actually mentions in his book.
Well, I mean, he agrees with it as well, right? I mean, Ehrman's on board with Jesus existed. Yeah,
and with the crucifixion.
Yeah,
and he's the one.
Okay. It's cool.
He's the one who gives the number. He's the one who gives the number of 100% consensus. I'm not making it up. In his book.
All right, I'm saying we're giving you that Jesus existed and was crucified.
So yeah,
let's move on.
So now what? Where are we going?
I mean, no, I was just calling to establish that.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you for your call, and that was Matt, and that's a wrap